I was watching the Craig Ferguson show on YouTube. His ad, and I was like, Craig Ferguson is like a guy who the elites, the people above him, they use him to try to get the ordinary guy to buy in to certain trends or certain ideas. And so I think that a person like Craig Ferguson or like a talk show host, they're there for culture control. They're the average guy, and Craig Ferguson is using, he's saying the F word. He's like, oh, what the fuck is that? It's like, I mean, okay, I'm cool, I'm hip, I swear, and oh, I'm eating salad, and it's like, salads are healthy, and it's like, they're talk show hosts are kind of like this connection, this link between the totalitarian aspects of the world and the average person. They're kind of like a softening. They kind of soften the slavery or soften the blow of what's happening in society. So, every night people go to watch the talk show host, and it's like, oh, they're wearing suit and tie, and they're funny, and they have politicians on their shows. It's like this, it's like the sugar on the devil. It's like the sugar on the violence. I mean, is Craig Ferguson going to talk about how dangerous vaccines are? Probably not. There's probably certain things Craig Ferguson can't talk about. But it was really funny. He was like, I grew up in the age of punk rock. I don't want music that's made by a bunch of sound producers, and I don't want movies that are made by some executives. And it's like, really? You literally worked for the establishment. You literally had guests on your show who were just propaganda. Like every guest on your show was just part of the propaganda machine. It's sad that people like Ferguson can't be honest about what they really believe. It's this crazy world we live in. It's a crazy world we live in where people can pretend, and then the average person, the public, is like, oh yeah, well, that person's legitimate. Obama's legitimate. Clinton's legitimate. Bush is a Christian. Trump is a Christian, and he cares about God. And it's like, none of these people are legitimate. They're all actors. Craig Ferguson doesn't care about your health. Talk show hosts don't care about quality music, quality stories. They're not about original content. Let's grow up here. And, Craig Ferguson has this guy on, the brother of Elon Musk. Oh, Elon Musk, man, that's such an occult name. That's such a witchcrafty, psychedelic name. Anyway, so he has Elon Musk's brother on, and whoa, we need to have real food. Are they going to talk about glyphosate and how that's poisoning everybody? Are they going to talk about diet soda and how that's just pure acid and it's giving people osteoporosis? Are they going to talk about how all the food in Walmart is like destroys the brain and destroys babies in the uterus? It's like, and we're paying for it. And he brought up some real points. He brought up some real um, some really good points. He was like, you know what? We're being force fed this food that isn't even real. Um, but it tastes real. And that was a good point. We are paying for food that isn't food. But here's the thing. You are being poisoned by your food, especially your grains, because your grains aren't real grains. And your milk's not real milk. It's not raw milk. And the fat's been taken out of it. Do you know what fat does? Do you know what fat and dairy does? It grows your brain because your brain is fat. That is what your brain is. It is made out of fat. Go look up what percent of your brain is made of fat. And if you're eating fat-free dairy, fat-free meat, whatever, how's your brain doing? Of course, the smart, healthy people watching this video will be like, oh, I eat fat-free, and I'm smart and healthy, and I'm rich. And it's like, well, do you care about the people who aren't smart, who don't have good brains, who aren't eating right? Yeah, the smart and healthy people, the rich people, What do they care about the poor people? What do they care about the poor people eating garbage? Ramen? All I gotta say is the companies who are making ramen are criminals. They're evil. Because they're selling to... It's kind of like this, right? It's like you have the poorest people in the world. They're going to buy the cheapest food. Ramen is the cheapest food. The cheapest food is garbage, poisonous. Wouldn't that be weird? Like this, I'd really like to talk to some of these people, like the makers of ramen. I'd be like, okay, so you make ramen. It's garbage. It's probably made from grains that are just loaded with glyphosate. And what the heck is ramen? No nutrition at all. And you know that poor people are buying it. So how are we going to help the poor? How are we going to get the poor people to not buy Walmart food? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. How are we going to get the poor people to stop buying ramen and Pepsi and pasteurized milk products where the cows are in these dirt fields that are disgusting? They don't eat grass. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know how you're going to help the poor. Worldwide. It's pretty disgusting, but it's pretty sad. So Craig Ferguson and all, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy, oh, he's funny. What are these shows? They're people in movies and music who are not independent, who are not part of the propaganda. So it's propaganda. So everybody spends their nights being propagandized. It's disgusting. It's horrible. And it's so funny. Ha ha ha. Oh, ho, ho, ho. We'll just laugh and laugh and laugh.